Imagine waking up tomorrow morning, grabbing your phone, opening your bank app, and seeing your balance at zero. Not because you spent it, not because someone hacked your account, but because your money simply expired. Every dollar you didn't use last month is gone, completely erased, like it never existed in the first place. No warning, no way to get it back, no exceptions. At first, it sounds ridiculous, almost like a glitch in reality, but then it hits you. This is how money works now. Every month, your balance resets. Whatever you don't use disappears. And suddenly, one question becomes very real. What would you actually do? At the beginning, it would feel incredible. You get paid, your account fills up, and instead of thinking about saving or holding back, you're thinking about using it. There's no reason to wait, no benefit in delaying, no reward for being careful with your money. That thing you've been thinking about buying for weeks, you just buy it. That experience you've been putting off, you finally say yes. That constant voice saying maybe later, it disappears because later doesn't exist anymore. Later means losing the money anyway. For the first few weeks, maybe even months, people would feel free in a way they never have before. Spending becomes easier, decisions become faster. There's no second guessing, no hesitation, no overthinking. Money stops feeling like something you need to protect and starts feeling like something you need to use. And honestly, for a while, that feels amazing. But then something slowly starts to change. At first, it's subtle. You don't notice it immediately. It shows up in small moments, like when something unexpected happens. Maybe your car breaks down. Maybe you lose your job. Maybe an opportunity appears that requires money up front. And for the first time, you realize something uncomfortable. You have nothing to fall back on. Because in this world, saving doesn't exist. There is no just-in-case fund, no backup, no cushion. Everything you earned last month is already gone. And suddenly, the freedom you felt at the beginning starts to feel different. It starts to feel fragile. Right now, in the real world, money gives you options over time. You can earn today and use it tomorrow. You can prepare for things that haven't happened yet. You can build a sense of stability by holding on to what you've earned. But in a world where money expires, that entire system disappears. You're no longer thinking long-term. You can't. You're thinking in 30-day cycles. Every month becomes its own isolated game, and that creates a very different kind of pressure. Because now, every time you get paid, a timer starts ticking. You can't see it, but you feel it. 30 days. That's how long you have before your money disappears. So every decision becomes more intense. Do you spend it now? Do you wait? Do you try to turn it into something else? There's no room for indecision, no space for procrastination. Because doing nothing is the worst option. Doing nothing guarantees that you lose everything. At this point, people start adapting, and this is where things get really interesting. Because not everyone adapts in the same way. Some people lean fully into the idea of spending. They accept that money is temporary and decide to enjoy it while it lasts. They upgrade their lifestyle, spend more freely, and focus entirely on the present. And on the surface, it looks like they're winning. They're enjoying life. They're using their money. They're not holding back. But underneath that, something isn't changing. They're still starting from zero every single month. No matter how much they earn, no matter how much they spend, nothing carries over. They're stuck in a loop. But other people take a different approach. They realize something important. Even if money expires, value doesn't have to. So instead of just spending their money, they start converting it. They buy things that hold value. They invest. They build. They turn their temporary money into something permanent. And this changes everything. Because while their bank account still resets to zero at the end of every month, their wealth doesn't. Now imagine two people living in this system. One spends everything on lifestyle, better clothes, better food, better experiences. They fully embrace the idea that money is meant to be used. The other person thinks differently. They still spend, but they prioritize turning their money into things that last. They invest what they can. They build something over time. At the end of the month, both have zero cash, but only one has something left. And over time, that difference becomes impossible to ignore. Month after month, one person stays in the same place, the other slowly moves forward. Not because they earn more, not because they work harder, but because they understand how to move money before it disappears. And this is where the illusion of fairness breaks. At first, a system like this might seem equal. Everyone starts fresh each month. Everyone has the same rules. No one can hoard money. But in reality, it doesn't eliminate inequality. It just shifts it. Because the real advantage isn't having money, it's knowing what to do with it before it's gone. And that's something not everyone figures out. Some people react emotionally, they rush decisions, they spend quickly just to avoid losing their money. Others become more strategic. They slow down, think carefully, and focus on long-term outcomes, even in a short-term system. And over time, those small differences in behavior create massive gaps. But there's another effect that starts to appear. Something unexpected. In a world where money expires, people might actually become more intentional with their spending. Because right now, it's easy to waste money without thinking. Small purchases don't feel important. A few dollars here, a few dollars there. It adds up, but slowly, you don't notice it. But if money expires, every dollar feels different. Not because you want to save it, but because you don't want to waste its potential. You start asking better questions, not can I afford this, but is this the best use of this money before it disappears? And that shift in thinking changes behavior. People might actually spend less on things that don't matter and more on things that do, experiences, opportunities, investments, things that either bring real value now or carry value into the future. But even with that shift, there's a bigger problem. Long-term planning becomes extremely difficult. Think about something like buying a house. In the real world, you save over time, you build up enough money to make it happen. But in this system, you can't store money, so you have to constantly convert it, constantly move it, constantly act. There's no slow build. Everything becomes faster, more intense, more demanding, and the same applies to everything else. Starting a business, planning for the future, even something like retirement. All of it depends on one key idea: storing value over time. Without that, the entire structure changes. You're no longer thinking in years, you're thinking in months. Now, here's the part that makes this idea really interesting. Because even though this world doesn't exist, parts of it already do. Your money doesn't literally expire, but its value isn't fixed. Over time, things get more expensive, opportunities come and go. The same amount of money doesn't always give you the same result, and most importantly, time keeps moving. Every dollar you have has potential, potential to grow, potential to create something, potential to give you more options later. But that potential isn't permanent. If you don't use it, it fades. Not instantly, not dramatically, but slowly. And that's what makes the real world more dangerous. Because the loss is invisible. You don't see your money disappear overnight. You don't feel the impact immediately. So it's easy to ignore, easy to delay, easy to say, I'll deal with it later. But over time, the effect is similar. People who use their money intentionally move forward. People who don't stay stuck. So in a strange way, imagining a world where money expires every month isn't that unrealistic. It just makes something visible that already exists. That money isn't just about how much you have, it's about what you do with it while you have it. Because whether your money disappears in 30 days or not, the opportunity behind it doesn't last forever. And that's the part most people don't think about. So if your money really did expire every month, you'd be forced to act. You'd make decisions faster, you'd think more carefully, you'd treat money as something active, not passive. And maybe that's the real takeaway. Not that money should expire, but that waiting has a cost, doing nothing has a cost, and time is always part of the equation. Because at the end of the day, money isn't just something you have, it's something you use to build something, to create options, to move forward. And if you don't use it intentionally, you lose more than just the money. You lose what it could have become. So maybe the real question isn't, what if your money expired every month? Maybe it's, what are you doing with it before it does? If you found this video helpful, consider subscribing. I will post more videos like this. If you have any questions, drop them below. I read every single one.